Hammer post about the new naming of the Gulf. Oh yeah, I saw this. I mean, this is just like, dude. If an American-owned application changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America is that big of a deal? Is that big of a deal for you? This is low effort stuff, okay? It's basically another demonstration that we have no motion. We've lost it, you know? It's just like, this is what we're stoked on. Oh my God, it's awesome. It's amazing. I can't believe, like, nobody cares. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand how this is a significant move. This is stuff Erdogan would do is true. By the way, in Saudi, my Google Maps says Gulf of Mexico, in parentheses, Gulf of America. Yeah, I think for outside of the United States of America, it still says Gulf of Mexico, and in parentheses, Gulf of America. Erdoğan bile böyle saçma şeylerle uğraşmıyor. Yo arada yapar böyle. I work in the Gulf of Mexico and no one calls it the Gulf of America. This is some freedom fries shit, dude. That's what I mean. This is like, oh yeah, we're gonna rename French fries to freedom fries. Like, who cares? Like, even if this was here's my take, okay? This is such no motion shit. Like, changing the name of Gulf of Mexico on Google Maps to Gulf of America is unimaginably low motion. No motion whatsoever. It is akin to when the American government decided to change the name of French fries to freedom fries for a brief moment, only to take it back. It just doesn't, like, this doesn't impact anyone's lives at all. It also, and this is perhaps a little bit surprising of me to say, it also is not unwarranted, okay? It's one of the few instances where changing this from the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America is not like that insane of a demand. Okay, listen to me on this one. Okay, one, the United States of America is not the only American country. It is literally the continent, and there's also a shit ton of coastline on the Gulf of Mexico that the United States of America also has. So not only is it pointless, but it also genuinely is not like that insane, I guess. You can say that the Gulf is surrounded by the continent of America. Exactly. So it's like, it's a very weird thing that the worst people are pointing to. It's a very weird thing that the worst people are pointing to as like a massive victory or whatever. It's so dumb. And ultimately, I think it's just not significant. I don't know if this is truly, because whenever Trump does stuff like this, there are like the conspiracy blue and on liberals that'll be like, this is actually to make treaties void, or this is because Donald Trump is going to engage in drilling or whatever. Like, he didn't change the name to the Gulf of Trump, right? As Fizz also said, it's correct. It's like he changed it to Gulf of America. It's not like that crazy of a demand in general. And also, it's basically just on Google Maps, which is an American, it's an American company. Don't forget to blast off. I already did. It's useless. It's petty. And also, simultaneously, in a weird way, it's not like the worst thing. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I said, this is the continent, this is the North American continent. And therefore, it's valid to say it's the Gulf of America. So it's one of those weird things that Trump did where I just don't care about it at all. And I don't think it's all that significant. I think ultimately the other stuff that he's doing is way worse. You shut up right now, law. It's not the Gulf of the United States of America. It's the Gulf of America. This must be so cool if you're a fucking idiot. Yeah, no, that's the other. This is the correct take as well. It's just like, it just is not. Like, I think a part of the reason why Republicans really like this is because they're stupid and they think this matters. They think this is like a massively consequential thing. Like, it shows American dominance, right? It's just a thing. It's not that significant. And it makes no sense to hype this up as though this is the best thing that's ever happened. Okay? They've done it. Gulf of America. Like, pog. I'm pogging right now. This is so sick. In the Donald Trump is destroying this country paradigm, if I were to do a tier list of all the awful things that he's done, this doesn't even make the first 50. Okay? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this does not crack the top 50 at all, especially because if this was done in collaboration with like Mexico as well, and it wasn't Trump doing it, and it was like, hey, in order to showcase our friendship, like, and the fact that we are on the same continent and we are incredibly important allies, like, we are now switching the name of the Gulf of Mexico in unison with the Mexican government to the Gulf of the Americas, something like that. Like, most people would go, okay, that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, in the past 2 weeks, we have not, in the past 2 weeks, it's about to be his first month in, Donald Trump has done so much awful shit. So much. That it makes no sense to spend any time on this. Hasan, you're trying to explain change to a chat that had a meltdown when you change mic cover colors. Fair. True. But yeah, this is all aesthetics. Why would it be the Americas when it's just North America? Okay, Gulf of America is actually a decent naming convention for it as well, for the record. But again, it's silly stuff. It's low motion. He's an old white guy. Like most old white guys, he loves maps. I think he sees changing the map in as many ways as possible as the lasting legacy he will have. Obviously, there are other reasons for Canada, Greenland, and Panama, but I think the hubris is another factor. Yeah, it's just like a silly thing. It's low motion. It's silly. It's perfect for Donald Trump. It's perfect red meat for his base that they can just like add on to all of the amazing things that our glorious president is doing. It's like, fix the goddamn egg prices, man. Okay? What happened to tackling inflation, you dingus? That's what you ran on. What happened? Instead, it's business as usual. And the irony, of course, is that nothing is different, even with his like handling of Ukraine, for example. Like when he talks about Ukraine, this is a big point of contention now. He just like openly is saying, we want $500 billion worth of your minerals. Okay? That in and of itself is literally, and I cannot stress this enough, identical to the ways in which we have interest in Ukraine from the jump. Okay? It's just openly stating that reality. That's the only difference between Donald Trump, is just that he says the quiet part out loud. Okay? That's it. Just like the Biden administration also quietly was trying to do a mass relocation initiative for all the Palestinians, and The Egyptian government said no. The Jordanian government said no. They all basically said, no, that's a ridiculous thing. We're not going to do mass ethnic displacement in the Gaza Strip. Donald Trump was like, no, you have to do it. That's it. It's not quiet. It's just loud, but the policies don't actually change.